Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. We're playing with pattern paper. Today we're using the Photoplay Paper's Little Chef 12 by 12 collection pack. I've created a card with this, a mac and cheese card, and today I thought we'd make a sweet card, a super fun sweet card, because we're going to use the Waterfall kit from the Maker series over at Photoplay. This creates a fun card with a kinetic motion, a kinetic mechanism where you pull this and each of the layers pop up. And I thought this would be really fun, a fun card to create. And I want to do something a little bit special with it too. So we're going to jump in and get started. I picked out 3 of the pattern paper sheets. These are 12 by 12 sheets. These 2 I trimmed down, but I'm going to give you the names of these because some of your craft stores will have these sheets individually. So we're going to be using Sweet Stripe. We're also going to be using cookies. Love the cookies in here. And then we're also going to be using the cut apart sheet. This is called Num Num Num. So fun. I'm going to trim down these, and I'm also going to trim down, I like the recipe card here, and I'm also going to be trimming down this one here that says you are what you eat, so bake something sweet. I just think that's adorable. I trimmed down my pattern papers, and what I did was trim a little bit more off the top and bottom and the left and right of the recipe card. I did this because I want this to fit on the inside of my card, so I did trim a little bit more, probably about 1/8 of an inch all around off of this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take our cut apart here, and I'm going to cut away the cake piece. Since we're making a waterfall card, I thought it'd be fun to have each of the elements that pop open have a sentiment in there. So we're going to trim "You Are" right down the middle, leaving a little bit of that white border. So now all of these are separated. Okay, so we're going to put these over here. And then I have 4 2x2 panels, and then I have this panel that is 4 inches wide by 1 inches tall. I did this, let me show you, because in our waterfall kit, I'm going to open it up and take out the elements that we need. And again, there are 3 A2 waterfall card making kits in here. I'm not going to need my card bases because we're going to create our own, a little bit bigger one. And then, but we are going to use all of the mechanism that's in here. So we're going to take our larger one. So we're going to take the mechanism pieces. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the squares. And then I also want to mention that inside are very clear and very easy step-by-step instructions on how to create the waterfall. You think it's a little bit intimidating, but the kit does the work for you, which makes it really nice. Now it does say to trim this piece, this 4x2 piece, in half. So I'm going to trim this right down the middle. So this is going to make this strip a 1 inch by 4 inch strip. Now I'll put this back in the kit because we can use these for our other waterfall cards. So these are the waterfall element that we're going to put on our customized card size. We're going to put this to the side, and then you'll notice that these pieces here match perfectly with our pattern papers. So you're going to need pattern papers with the 2x2s, 4 of them, and then you're going to need a piece of pattern paper that measures 1 inch by 4 inch. What we're going to do first is we're going to layer our pattern papers directly on our kit papers. I'm going to use my glue, and we're going to go ahead and adhere. Since we have them lined up, we're going to go ahead and adhere our pattern paper to our kit cardstock pieces. If you wanted to do the reverse side of these, you could also. And I will finish off with the last one. If you wanted to use, I'm using glue, but if you want to use your tape runner or some double-sided tape, you could do that also. For me, just glue is a lot easier. So now I have my pattern paper adhered to each one of my kit pieces, and I'll do the same thing with this. We're going to add glue right over the top. So this is done. I'm going to put these with this, and then we need a card base. So since we're customizing our card base, and this card you could actually recreate with your A2 card. I just want to again put my recipe card on the inside, and with an A2 size card, my recipe card will stick out. To create my card base, I have a piece of white cardstock. To create my card base, I have a panel. This measures 8.5 inches wide by 6 1/4 inches tall. I'm going to put this in my scoreboard, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So we have just a slightly taller card base than an A2. I just added basically 3/4 of an inch on the very top. We have our card base created. I'm going to go ahead and add some pattern paper to the very top. This pattern paper measures 4 inches wide by 6 inches tall. So I'm going to have a little bit of a border around my card base. I'm going to use my glue, and we'll add this. Now I have these 2 strips. These weren't part of the kit, but I am going to add these to the inside of my card. We're going to do that right now. And all I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue on the left and at the very bottom, and then on the right. And then I'll take this, and I'm going to add this on the inside of my card just before my score line. And then I have this pattern paper. We're going to just add a layer, and we're going to layer this right over the top, just so some of those polka dots are peeking out. So what we did was create a little pocket for a cookie recipe, and we can just slide this in like so. Now is the fun part where we get to create our waterfall. I'm going to go ahead and lightly tack this closed so we can work on our waterfall. To create it, it's very, very easy. I'm going to take this piece here. There's some score lines on it. Let me show you. You can see those score lines. And what you're going to do is reinforce all of those score lines. Just fold them in. So all of our score lines are reinforced. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half to where the score lines are on the top. Next, I'm going to take this piece. This is our 1 inch that we trimmed down from our Maker Series waterfall kit that we put pattern paper over the top. I'm going to go ahead and add glue to the left and to the right of this. Okay, next I'll take this piece. I'm going to place it on front of my card where I want it to go. And I think that's a good spot. And then I'll take this piece and I will place this in the front, and I'm going to layer it right over the top of my The grid lines on this pattern paper actually help. I'm going to place this right over the top of this piece. Just holding it down to make sure that those sides grab. Of course, if you were to use double-sided tape, it would probably be a lot quicker. Now I'm going to take this. Now this is where you would punch a hole on the very bottom. Punch a hole and then add some string to create that kinetic motion. You would do this on this very bottom flap. I'm going to make this flap a little bit extra special. So to do that, I'm folding it over, okay, and I'm going to angle the left and the right, like so. Just trim a little bit off the left and the right. That's where this 2-inch circle that I created comes in handy. Take my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim this 2-inch circle into 2 pieces. So I have just trimming it in half at the 1-inch mark. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my glue. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to this very bottom piece. I'll take my half circle and I'm going to add this at the very bottom. Just creating a dome shape, and then I'll flip it over. You don't have to do this part, but since we have that other half, we might as well. We'll place this on the back side, but the back side you're really not going to see. So we just added a little bit of stability for our pull tab area. I'm going to go ahead and take a hole punch. I'm going to be using my crocodile here, and I'm going to punch a hole on the very bottom, in the middle, like so. And then I have an eyelet. I'm going to add an eyelet and we'll secure this. On the very bottom also. Next I have some white twine. I'm going to loop it through here. So we created a fun decorative pull tab, okay? Now I'm going to take this and we're going to slide this underneath this piece here that's glued down. I'm going to open up the top here. Now we're going to make sure that this bottom edge here lines up with this bottom edge here. So we're going to line it up. Okay, now in this square you can see all of the score marks on this square here. We're going to add some glue. We're going to take one of our 2x2 panels and we're going to add this right over the top. After we have this adhered, okay, I'm going to go ahead and open this panel up, and in this section I'm going to add some glue. Okay, and then we're going to close it. And then we're going to close this down. We're just going to let this glue adhere. So what we're doing is securing this top layer to this piece here. Okay, but this bottom piece can slide. Let me show you. So, okay, so this top piece is not moving. After this is adhered, what we're going to do next is we're going to add glue here and here and here. At each of the score line, we're going to add our pattern paper. We're just going to line it up like so. So that's one score line. This is the next score line. And then we have our last score line here at the very top. So this creates that waterfall. Let me show you. You see that? This creates that waterfall. We're going to give that glue a little bit of time to dry. Now what's going to happen is when you pull the tab here, the top layer is going to pop up, second layer, and third layer. And if you want to write a special message here, you very well could. And then it'll pull right back in. Now I thought we would add each of these to each one of our waterfall sections. But first we're going to take our sticker sheet and we're going to add a sweet to the very top here. At the top. Now when I press it down, I'm just pressing down the upper section. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is open it up to where it flips open. And then you can see this is still sticker. That's where powder comes in. If you heat emboss and have a anti-static powder tool, go over that sticker so it's not sticky anymore. Okay. And if you don't, you could use baby powder, you can use cornstarch to remove the tackiness off of your sticker. This way when I close it, this way when it closes, it's not gonna stick. Okay, after we have the sweet adhered, I am gonna add UR. We're gonna go ahead and pull down one of the waterfalls. We're going to add what you eat. And then I'm going to pull it down one more. We're going to add So Bake. So when you open this up, we have You Are Sweet, but you have You Are What You Eat. So Bake something sweet. Now I'm going to put this back and then we're going to add some cookies to the front. And I'm going to go ahead and place one cookie on the third layer of the waterfall. There's a little bit overhanging, so we're going to have to remove the tackiness. And then we're going to go ahead and add another cookie at the very bottom here. And that finishes my card today. Today we used the Photoplay Paper's Little Chef 12x12 collection pack and the Maker Series Waterfall pack. The Maker Series Waterfall kit creates A2 cards, but the mechanism's the same if you wanted to make your card a little bit longer, or if you wanted to create an A2 size card and not put the recipe card on the inside, I think that would be cute too. But you just pull it down and you have some surprise message on the inside, which is super fun. Super fun to create. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.